All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads. And today we're going to be going over how to market a listing, yours or borrowed, to generate both buyer and seller leads. So go ahead and let me know where you're coming in from, and we'll get started full on here in about a minute. We are recording this. This will be available on our YouTube channel and I believe on our Facebook page as well. So facebook.com/listings to leads, or just find our Facebook page on Facebook. Or again, go to YouTube, find Listings to Leads. And if you click live, you'll see all of our scheduled and previous live recordings there. So go ahead and type in where you're coming in from, who you're with, and let me know if you got any specific questions before we get started here. I did put in a couple of links, and let me share just what they are. The first link actually was struggling with Facebook ads and follow up. I know a lot of people love to do Facebook ads. And, like with anything, there's a right way, there's a wrong way, and then there's a way you're probably doing it. I want to make sure that you are not wasting your time and your money. And so you'll see this link in the chat. If you're watching the recording, go to listingstoleads.com/blog. That is listingstoleads.com/blog. And you can find this page right here, this post, struggling with Facebook ads. Kenneth, I'm actually going to be in Sarasota in 2 days. We'll be in Florida for like 2 weeks. In fact, I'm going to be with a Remax office in Lutz. Not this week, but next week, like the 10th or 11th, I believe. Anyway, Debbie, where are you from in Florida? Rolanda, Phoenix. Oh, Phoenix City, Alabama. Oh, okay. Oh, is that near the coast? So on this post right here, struggling with Facebook ads and follow-up, there are 2 phenomenal interviews that you've really got to watch. So there's one that we did with our client, Craig Johnson. And then the second one below these screenshots is with Gordon Day. And I highly recommend that you watch both of them, because they walk you through really not just about how to do a ad, but how to actually do Facebook over the course of a couple of months, where you start getting a really powerful ROI. In particular, if you combine it with open houses and our open house training, it will really almost make you unstoppable. And if you scroll down just a little bit more from that, there's a third video, and the third video is 6 minutes long. And in this one, if you click it, it actually takes you to the mastermind group, which I want you all in the mastermind group. I'll show you how to join that here in a few minutes. It is invitation only, but you can request an invitation. And then this video here, this video right here walks you through kind of the things to do to make sure that you don't make mistakes. All right. This 6-minute video. Again, I highly recommend it, because even doing an ad, and we had a client, Della, is it Della Stanley maybe? And she came into the mastermind group a couple of days ago. I haven't really used Facebook ads until this year. I just did 3 ads in the last week, and I changed the format to what they recommended in the last webinar is all I did. So essentially, if you follow our calls, if you watch that video I just shared with you, check this out. 26 leads for $1.88, 24 leads, $2.08, 40 leads at $1.90, $75, $50, $50. And if you watch those interviews and the 6-minute long video, I walk you through. And if you look at the 10 commandments right below that, which is back on this page here that we were looking at. Again, this is the first link I dropped into the chat. So if you're on the call with me right now, when you look at the chat panel, the conversation going on there, you will see this link. And then down here, I give you the 10 commandments for Facebook ads, but also your Facebook ad strategy. So take a look at that. And then the second link, and this is more relevant for today, although I know we're all going to do a Facebook ad for that listing that we're marketing this week, is right here. Get buyers and sellers easily and consistently marketing listings, yours or borrowed. So we're going to walk through how do you market listings so that we get buyer leads, we get seller leads. And even when you don't have a listing, that you borrow a listing or two. All right. You want to borrow. You think about listings as the inventory of a real estate agent. That is one of the best ways to get new people into our system, re-engage people that have already been in our system for a while. So finding good listings, and we'll walk through what is a good listing in a little bit, but be thinking about every single week. You want to have one or two, preferably new listings. Now, these could be your listings, another listing from an agent in your office. I've seen people market listings of agents that they know that are not from their office. If you're doing an open house, phenomenal. New construction can work as well, but the listings, right? The ability for someone to look at a property that they might want to buy, the ability to market a property in such a way as to generate seller leads from the marketing of that property is one of the best and cheapest and easiest ways to generate great leads. Now, we do the pending and sold marketing, which is more geared towards seller leads on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. You can go to our training calendar to get that call as well. But even for listings that are for sale, we got some phenomenal tools to help you generate seller leads. So with that, this is the second link I dropped in. And do notice there is a image linking to a training for each particular status. So, right, why marketing active listings matter. And again, this could be coming soon, just listed, active, or an open house. Just one of the best ways to promote your brand, right? Lead generation is phenomenal, and we're going to do a lot of that with this, but we're also promoting our brand like crazy. I was talking to a client in an area where we have another client that I work with, and she told me, she goes, I see him everywhere. She goes, he is just all over the place. And she goes, I kind of thought he might be working with you because he's everywhere. So every time I'm online, I see him somewhere. So promoting your brand is going to be a massive benefit of this. Generating buyer leads, phenomenal. Beautiful thing about the buyer leads, 30 to 40% have a home, right? They have a home that they own. And a percentage of those people are going to be selling that home to buy their new one. So it is very conceivable, very likely that some of these leads you're generating, some of these buyer leads are also going to be a seller lead. All right. Vitaly in Miami. Awesome. And Debbie, when you say the Villages, is that like in Sarasota, the Villages? I know I'm sure Villages is pretty common in a lot of places, but I know in Sarasota, Florida, there is a area called the Villages. All right, as I mentioned here, we're also going to be attracting seller leads. Not only will some of the buyer leads we generate be a seller as well, but we've got tools specifically for seller leads while marketing a listing. And we can get more listings. All right, it's going to help us win more listings, in particular, your 100-point home marketing plan right there. So we talk a little bit about how to pick your listing or deal of the week. So keep in mind, right? A lot of times you hear something or people talk about that deal of the week that we want to market to our database. And this would fall under that, but times 10. All right. We don't want to just have a quote unquote deal of the week. We want to have a marketing plan around that. So we're going to generate some good leads. And again, hopefully engage some of the previous leads and maybe even some seller leads. So borrow a listing if you need to. Talk to your broker. Your broker will absolutely love you. And then let's get started. So all you got to do is come up here, click the one that's appropriate for you. For example, just started. And when you scroll down this next page, everything in the marketing list in Listing Leads is right here. There is a walkthrough video right there and a quick little summary. I highly recommend this page because it's like as if you and I were sitting next to each other and I just walked you through exactly what to do. And we got the Facebook and Instagram ads, right? Making sure we automate our follow-up. So if you don't know in your Listings to Leads profile, you can connect whatever CRM that you use with Listings to Leads. We want to make sure those leads get to where they need to go to. And then we talk about social media posts. And the last thing we're going to look at before we jump into the account and start doing it, and I will leave it right here because this is not on the green market listing checklist inside of Listings to Leads. This is a separate training, but it's how to use Instagram stories, Instagram Reels, and TikTok, add links and polls to better engage your audience. So we'll come back and look at this here in a little bit. So Debbie, you're in south of Ocala. Awesome. All right. And everybody else, if you haven't put down where you're coming in from, please go ahead and type into the chat where you're coming in from and who you're with. I'm going to go to listingstoleads.com. Go ahead and log into your account. If you have an account with us, log in. Let's actually do this together. Would love to actually get some of this done with you as you're going through it. You may have a question that I can help answer right now. If you're not a client, you can sign up for a free trial. Everything we're going to do, you can do in a free trial. And so with that, I'm going to go to listings. Priya, good to see you from Baton Rouge, EXP. Ooh, Sunny Isles, nice. All right, so here, go ahead and just turn that off. And the first thing, actually, when I land here, I'll land on listings. If you need to add a listing to your account, get with our support team. They'll give you more information if you need it. But just real quickly, you can go to green, add listing, manual, or grab. Now, hopefully we're getting your listings in from a data feed. If we are not, talk to our support team. Let's get that connected so that your listings are coming in automatically. But I can also click grab. This is pretty common when you're going to borrow a listing to market. Just drop in the zip code and the MLS ID number. Uncheck, this is my listing if it's not yours, and hit grab. We are going to pull in all the photos, all the details, everything. It may take 30 to 45 seconds, and then that listing will be right on the dashboard. There will be a little icon that will just kind of note the fact that it's not your listing. So it'll differentiate the listing that you're borrowing from listings that are yours. Just keeps it a little easier to keep track of. And I will click on, so every listing here. Now, one more thing before we get started. If I click edit, I can add videos, photos, more things. Neil says if the borrow listing goes under contract, yeah, I would just remove it at that point. So what Neil was asking the question is, if you're borrowing a listing and then later it goes pending or under contract, just delete the listing from your account. There's no point in you marketing somebody else's pending listing unless you're whatever. But what I want to show you here is, I can add the open house. So again, tonight we got the amazing open house marketing training that we really want to turn your open houses into an event. All right. We want that open house to pop. So we're talking about that tonight at 5 p.m. But notice here, photos. So add your professional photos. Please do not use that virtual tour your photographer gives you. A lot of times photographers will want to give you a link to a single property website or their virtual tour that's free. And that's really about what it's worth. All right. The single property website / virtual tour with Listings to Leads is a million times better than anything your photographer is going to give you or anything at your IDX. So you saw a professional photo. I got our professional video above on the display. Got my photos. I've got a 3D tour, a community video. There's a lot you can do here. So all those buyer leads that come in that own a home, they have direct access to my 100-point home marketing plan. I mean, it really doesn't get much better. Maps and local, Google Street View. I've also got a client review video here, school information. You get the idea. So the single property websites from Listings to Leads are vastly superior to anything else available. A lot of other options right down here that you can take a look at later, but for our purposes, let's go to market listings. And Alice says, does this become our list of past sales? It can if you don't delete the listing out of your account. Yeah, definitely. Or do you only want active listings? I like to have my active listings and then any pending or sold up to 30 days past the close of escrow typically. Because I want to make sure I do my pending marketing. I want to make sure I do my just sold marketing. And then after it's just sold, give it 30 or 60 days, depending on how many listings. Or, we got people that upgrade their accounts with us because they want to keep some of those old listings in there. But it's gonna be up to you and how you want to do it. Yeah. Yeah, most current, but again, most current pendings and solds as well, because the pendings and solds are phenomenal for seller lead generation. All right, when I click on that green market listing button, you're going to notice you'll land in the overview for whatever status that you're at, and we've got the step-by-step guide. If you click learn more, that's going to take you right back to where we were earlier. So it's very easy to access this guide, this walkthrough, right from inside the account in the overview. We got a checklist. I love it. Almost every call, somebody's always telling me they love printing up and using the checklist. So you'll see here on the checklist, and it's just walking through the list that we're working down on the left side. So we got social media free and paid, database, farm and circle prospecting, and then all the tools under each category. There is a link. There are a couple of QR codes there that can direct you to more information. But really, all we're going to do is work our way down this list. Now, Alice says, do we include the buy side? If you're talking about the buy side for the pending and sold, you can totally do that. Not a problem. I just want to make sure that every week that you've got 1 to 2 listings that you're marketing. And right here as well, I'll explain why you may want to market 2 listings. Now, I'm not going to market 2 listings from my database, but what I am going to do is I want to spend between 125 to 150 bucks a week on Facebook ads. And I can do that either for 1 listing, absolutely no problem. You can easily spend $100 to $125 a week on a listing and generate phenomenal leads. All right. We saw this right here in the mastermind group. Now she spent 70 bucks on this ad right here. Look at $1.90 a lead. She could have done 100 to 125. And when you go to that link I gave you at the beginning of this call, if you're struggling with Facebook ads, right, the very first link at our blog that we walked through on this call, that will give you a lot more information on, why are we budgeting that way, right? Why we want to make sure that we do that every single week. We don't skip a week, right? The algorithm, the cost per lead, all of the stuff is much easier to manage and get better with as we spend money on a consistent basis. When people, and I look at their listings to leads ads page, and they'll have PDF guides and they'll have these landing pages and this all over, they're all over the place. And I just want you to focus on listings in the beginning and running listings, because again, you're going to get buyer leads, you're going to get seller leads, and they're going to come in at a great cost per lead. So all you need to do, confirm location. You can edit the text if you want. Most people don't, and most people do phenomenal, but you can put whatever you want here if you feel the need. This is the image that we recommend. And that is also, if I go back to this post in the mastermind group, I changed the format to what they recommended in the last webinar. And that's the format. There's nothing, it's the default format that we give you typically. And I'll show you how to select it if you need to. So coming back here, if you've been using, or if you have a different template selected, go ahead and click change template. And you can use video, you can use Canva images. I'll show you that here in a second as well. But when this pop-up comes up, you're going to notice there's 21 different templates here. And again, I can upload my own custom image and or video, but it's this image on the far right or far left that I highly recommend. Typically the biggest mistake I see most people making when you upload your photos, the first 4 photos a lot of times are just the 4 photos of the front of the house. Might be front, center, front, left, front, right, and then front at a different angle. And so all of these photos in the template are showing just the same image. And so to fix that, there's a little icon in the top left right here. Click it. And now you're going to see I can change out each image. In the top left-hand corner of every image, there are a couple of controls, and one of them is update image. And this will allow you to click it. You will be in the images of the listing, and then I can just select a different image. And what I would like for most of you, if not all of you, is similar to what you see here. Typically, you'll have the front of the house on the top, maybe the kitchen to the far left, a living room photo to the middle, and then a backyard to the right. Right? Or it could be, you see here, it's a beautiful pool. So I put the pool bottom left, the kitchen bottom center, and then I got the living room bottom right. And then people are going to see that there are more photos. So 17 more photos, 43 more photos, whatever it is will show right there. And this way, people, we don't want to do carousel. If you're looking to generate leads, I don't even want video. I just want this template with 4 good photos of the property. Think of it like you're telling, not that you're telling a story of the property, but that you're just giving a nice representation. Oh my God. I've seen people where it's like front of the house, staircase, front door. And then people wonder why their ad is not performing that great. So that's all. Just make sure you got a nice image. Update your ad budget. Again, you want to spend about 100 to 125 a week. You can combine 2 listings and do $65 each. You could do 3 listings and do 40 to 45 bucks each. I think after that, going under 45 or 50 a week is starting to get a little bit too low. Really, 50 a week is your minimum. And we got people going to 200 to 300 a week. I got people 200 to 300 a week on multiple listings, week after week after week after week. So just spending thousands of dollars a month on Facebook ads. And then just hit create ad. So again, click it, confirm the location. Don't change the location. Don't add to the location, especially in the beginning. Don't change the radius. Leave it alone, especially in the beginning. And then just increase your budget from 35 to whatever you think is appropriate. Again, I say 50 minimum. And between all ads, you want to spend between 125 and 150 bucks. All right, so now, after about a minute, you're going to notice there's a view, edit, and archive. And if this ad is doing really, really well, later you can come down here, and I show you in the other video, and you can click this edit button, and you can increase the ad budget again. We got people that do this 2 to 3 times. And when they got an ad running, and let's say we saw the example here, in fact, I should have mentioned to her in the mastermind group again, this agent right here, I would have added more budget to both of these ads, to all 3 of them. I mean, if I'm generating leads at $1.88, $2.08, and $1.90, average is going to be between 3 and 4, right? 3 and 4. Although, man, a few of the clients I managed this weekend, we're not too far off of this. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but the cost per lead for some of the accounts I'm managing are really good right now. And sometimes you can run an ad and the leads are coming in like a $6, $7, $8 a lead. And it could be, and again, I cover this in the 10 Commandments video. It could just be Facebook is showing it to a bad audience. And so I show you how to turn the ad off and just run it again without getting too bent out of shape about it. But when I click on the edit for this ad, I can come down here to budget and say, you know what, instead of spending 125 right now, let's say I'm 5 days into the ad, it's doing really well. I can say, let's add another 75. So now it's a 200 budget total, and I can extend my ending date 1 more week and hit update. Does that make sense for everybody? The idea now, and again, if the ad is performing bad, just come in here and turn it off like I just did, and just create another ad, double checking everything is okay. I have done this every other week usually. I'll run an ad, and again, just like I explained, I'll run an ad, $6, $7, $8 a lead. I mean, it can be even higher. And after the first day of that garbage, I literally just go in and I turn it off. I double check. I got the location. I didn't mess up the radius. I make sure the images are good. And if everything is, usually everything is, because I do it right the first time, I'll just create ad without changing anything else. And then within a day, I'm back to $3 leads, $4 leads. Next up is social media post. So this will post this out to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, and X. All right, so you can see down here where it will post. Looks awesome. All right, people, and Instagram, make sure you use link in bio. In fact, I'll show that to you here in a little bit. And all the other ones will click through right to, so I'll show you here. People see it, they click the post, and they go right to the single property website. And that's the same in the ad. In the ad that we just ran, people are going to land on the single property website, and you get their name, their email, their phone number, and their purchase time frame right from the Facebook lead ad. In addition to the automated social media posts that we do for you, don't forget, if you back in the overview, right? The overview section there with the step-by-step guide. And on the guide, for those of you that want to learn how to do, and these are free. That's the cool thing about Instagram, and the Facebook story, your Instagram story, the reels, they're absolutely free. And you can include, I'm going to show you. Check this out. These are all active listings. So just listed in Folsom. Text, check this out. See video, photos, and detail. People click, visit link right from their phone. This is mobile responsive, looks beautiful on a phone, even with the video, it looks absolutely phenomenal. And there's a poll right here. And so right on that page we were just looking at, I got all the training on how to do this. All right, here's another, and this could be a video clip, this could be an image clip. So here I'm offering a free guide, 6 things to check before buying a home. So here I've got a coming soon listing. And we've also got a training, which I'll point out and I'll give to everybody, how to make sure we do a story every single day for our listing. So whatever listing that we're marketing this week, I can do a different story highlighting a different part of the house every single day and making a different offer, right? Down payment assistance. Here's a offer for a free guide, the ultimate guide to buying a home. People click, they go to the landing page, and now they can download the ultimate guide to buying a home. I mean, it's just absolutely awesome. And so in these 2 videos right here, I walk you through how to do that. So for those of you that want to know, and again, the cool thing is it's absolutely free. And it's just another great way to help keep making sure that your social media has a lot of great content. And not just great content, but content that can help engage people better. And remember, everywhere you saw these images, some of them, maybe not in this clip, but again, all of these could have been videos as well. So I'm showing you some images, but those could have all been videos as well. So yeah, make sure to take a look at that a little later. Next up is, if you're the listing agent, you want to make sure that we get this on the seller's social media and for them to share via email. These are phenomenal tools. Clients get listings from this. They get buyers from this. This is a great way, especially in this market in most areas. Sellers absolutely love the look of them. I will show you the e-flyer and the social media post. They both are going to link to the single property website, which is awesome. And they both promote you and, of course, the listing, right? So they're going to have your name, your brokerage. I created all of these marketing tools. And then people are going to click. They're going to go right to the single property website. That post is going to look amazing on the seller's page. So if you are the listing agent, what you're going to want to do, so right here it says share on seller social media. And again, there's the e-flyer. We're going to send both of them out together. Don't tell your client, or don't say no to your client or for your client on this. All right. Someone says, how much is this platform? $95 a month for the base plan. Yeah. So, yep. Monica, perfect. Thank you for asking. And just listingsleads.com, click free trial. I think you'll see it on there. But for the seller, all right, this is so amazing. All you got to do is click send a seller, drop in their email address right here. All right, they're, dear Ian and Lauren, or hey, hello, hi, Ian and Lauren, however you want to do that. Click send. All right, it's going to send it now. And then before we do anything with that, just go right to the e-flyer. Again, the e-flyer is going to link to the same single property website. This is branding bonanza. This is gold for your branding. Click send a seller. That will all autofill. Then just click send. Click the green send button. And the seller is going to get the 2 emails. And I'm going to see if I can refresh my email. There we go. And I will pull out the social media post. So this is what it will look like. So our home just listed for sale, Scott Pierce, yada, yada, yada. They can just take that, put it on their Facebook page. Sometimes people copy this. It doesn't matter. Whichever one they copy, it'll look fine. And then right from the seller's Facebook page, their friends are going to click. They're going to like it. They're going to comment on it. What we recommend you do is for you to like the social media post and comment, right? So like the post, comment. You will be CC'd on that email. The version you get will look like this. So it'll have your name as the agent at the top, letting you know that the sellers got the email. And now you should call the seller up. And it's a really quick, great script that a top producing client of ours gave it to us a while back. And you say something to the effect of, hey, Ian, Scott here. Just want to let you know that we got your property. It's on Zillow. It's on Trulia and Realtor.com. We got the Facebook ad out. That should be live here shortly. We're getting it up on social media right now. We have a lot of other great marketing that we're doing for your home. And I sent you a couple of things. One, to share on your Facebook page, because you likely know people who know people that would love to buy in the area. And we just want to make sure we don't leave any stones unturned in this crazy market. Does that make sense for everybody? Super easy. And then you say the same thing with the e-flyer. I also sent you something to share via email for the exact same reason. We just want to make sure that we got our coverage down. And when the sellers see the email, they love it. All right. It looks great. It looks really, really good. And it's going to promote you. It'll get you more. We've had people get dozens of free leads from this, right? Their friends are clicking the email. Their friends click the post. And even if your seller only has one friend on Facebook, just do it. Get in the habit of doing it. Get in the habit of making those phone calls, because it's going to, at some point, you're going to get clients that have a good social media presence. And if you've never used these tools in the past, you may not use it so well when it's really going to count. Any questions on these 2 tools for the database? For the seller. The next tool, the Nearby Homeowner Letter, one of the best tools for generating seller leads in the industry. If you were to click on underneath the affiliate link right here where it says success stories, click on that. There are some great success stories talking about how to use this letter. And let me click download. Now, this is for listing agents, and if you are borrowing a listing to hold open. So if you're borrowing a listing to do an open house this coming weekend, I would use this letter as the invitation to the open house. Now, obviously, if it's your listing, use the letter for the open house. But I'm just saying, if it's not your listing that you're marketing this week, you probably aren't going to be using the letter. Now, again, if you have a listing where you have an open house, yours or borrowed, then use this by all means to invite those neighbors to the open house. If you're doing a neighbor preview, this can be edited. We show that in tonight's call. But check this out. If I click edit right here, this whole thing sits in the editor. And so, for example, I could say it's only just listed for sale, and we are having a preview Wednesday. I don't know what that is, July 2nd from 4 to 6. And I might put catered, right? So get more people over there. If the status was open house, it would already say open house. If it was coming soon, it would say coming soon. So it'll change based on the status. Is there a version where the LDL team handles legit creating posting? Is there a version? Yeah, Dana. Yeah, you can email support about our managed services. All right. So for this letter, a couple of ways, obviously, of getting it up. Door knocking is phenomenal. Door knocking with this letter at every status, if you're into door knocking, can be great. All right. When I've got this letter, and you know what, I got actually one in a bag. But when you're door knocking with this letter, and somebody answers the door, this is such a great conversation starter because it is related to a home right near them, whether it's coming soon, whether it's just listed, open house, or just for sale. It doesn't matter because most of the people, they're going to know the home, or at least recognize that it's not too far from them. And for anyone even thinking about selling, you're going to be able to have a conversation with them. For people that aren't thinking about selling, but they've been in the neighborhood for a while, they're curious about things, you'll be able to have great conversations with them as well. So when you door knock, the way to get it started is knock on the door, take a couple of steps back, and if they open the door, answer the door, what have you, all you got to say is 15 Ambient Way, in this case, 15 Ambient Way in Folsom, which is just right around the corner, just listed for sale. And I wanted to give you all the information about the property. You'll see here, there's a link and a QR code. You can access all the photos, the details, and everything. And we're just letting everybody know, because with the way the market is, right, there's a lack of inventory in the area, and we're expecting this. Every market is different, but that's the way to start off the conversations with these people. That makes sense for everybody. Now you can mail them. Obviously, we got postcards, we got door hangers as well. So you can see here, we got postcards and door hangers. The only thing I'll say, if you mail the nearby homeowner letter, what most people do to get the best success out of that is either they will use a service where there is a handwritten font on the envelope. That's kind of key with the letter. Otherwise, it looks like it's some sort of business mailing, and people just throw it away right away. So if you're going to mail the letter, which is a beautiful thing to do, just make sure it's a handwritten font on the envelope. So Zaire Mail, ZAIRmail.com is one. Thanks.io, I believe, does handwritten font envelopes as well as Mailbox Power. So take a look at those vendors. They all, I believe, there might be others as well. Again, or a lot of people print it at home. They self-address the envelope, or they got a printer that does handwritten font on their envelopes at home. The goal, though, is to get this to the homeowners or on that listing at a minimum of one, but like all marketing and advertising, right? So what do we know about marketing and advertising? Repetition of the message is part of it. So if I can get this to those homeowners 2 times, even better. So if I do, for example, just listed, pending, and just sold, Or if I'm borrowing the listing, I might just do it for the open house that I'm going to hold open for the other agent. We talk in the open house, post open house door knocking, where we let the neighbors know that we did the open house last weekend and 34 groups came through and it's phenomenal. And too bad there's only one home, because everybody that came through loved the neighborhood. And it's just a edited version of the nearby homeowner letter, but now for the post open house. So there's a lot of great strategies for using this letter. So let me know if you have any questions on this, but in the most straightforward way, get it to 100 plus homeowners around your listing or as an invitation to the open house. Door hangers, postcards, we got EDDM. There's a lot of versions of the postcards. And the postcards are phenomenal. Here, let me download the front. And you're going to see they got the QR code. They got the URL. They got the text code right there. And then in the back, it's got all your branding, and it talks about how similar to the letter, similar to the door hanger, it talks about when this home is sold, it will affect nearby home values. And there's a URL and a text code. And even if they scan the QR code on the front, they've got the opportunity to get their home value estimate at the single property website. So it's a great lead generator, no matter how you use it. And again, here's the door hanger. Beautiful. And it's all your colors, all your branding, your logo, your picture. It's showing these colors because I selected it either for the listing or these are just my brand colors. So yours will show yours. Next up is a circle prospecting script. Especially if you use the door hanger, if you do a mailing and you got the phone numbers, this would be a great script to use. So for those of you that do circle prospecting and you're pulling a list, or you've already got a list that you're mailing to, and you mail the letter or the postcard to the neighbors around that listing, then this is a great script to use, because it leverages the fact that you got the listing, that you sent a postcard or the letter, or maybe that you used the door hanger that you left for them, and you're just calling to make sure that they got it. And if they'd like to get any more information about the property, letting them know when this home is sold, it will affect their home value. And again, if you pulled a list and you got their address, you got their phone number, you likely got their email address, to just confirm their email address to get them a home value estimate when this property closes. So it's a great script. I know a lot of people don't circle prospect, but for those that do, this is a phenomenal script to use to call through. And again, we want to try to do it even if you don't mail every time the status changes. If you've got a list that you're calling for circle prospecting, you could completely call every time you change the status. And every time you change the status of the listing from coming soon to just listed, that'd be another reason to call. Hey, just want to let you know that 5530 Douglas Boulevard in Folsom just listed for sale. Just want to call, let you know we're having an open house. Just want to call, let you know that the property went into contract. Just want to call to let you know that the property sold. That gives me 5 to 6 times over the course of that listing to circle prospect these people. I may not door knock all 5 to 6 times. I may not send out a postcard all 5 to 6 times, but I can definitely call 5 to 6 times. So Alice says, sorry, but where is the list that you're working through? Alice, this would be something like you're pulling from RedX or MyPlusLeads or Active Prospect, right? There are various vendors that you can use where you pull a list of homeowners around the listing. And then you can scrub it against the DNC so that you can make sure that all the phone numbers are legal to call. We don't want to call phone numbers that are on the DNC. But yeah, circle prospecting is a little bit more of an advanced topic. So if you've never done circle prospecting, maybe get into the mastermind group and you can ask about it there. Next up is the e-flyer and a database call script. So this is the e-flyer for your database. I mentioned earlier that, we really wanted to market a couple of listings a week. And for your database, I want you to think about a listing of the week. So when you're going to market a listing this week, I want to put a little bit of strategic thought in it. Like why would my audience care about this listing? And really look at it that way, or these two listings. And when you go to market that listing to your database for this week, I really want to be thinking, again, is it a great starter home? Does it qualify for a VA or FHA or USDA loan? Is it been on the market for a while and maybe there's a recent price reduction, right? Possible seller concessions, 2-1 buy down, right? What is the hook, or what is it about that listing is going to be interesting to your database? And then I want to at least mention that. So let's check this out. If I go send now, and you can send this through your database as well. Excuse me. I'm going to click edit email. And so if we just want to market it like this, phenomenal. All right, that's fine. But I could go listing of the week, or even better, all right, and then I can click here, add a little bit, and let me put that back there. So edit that top paragraph a little bit and just make it much more engaging for my database. So you can send it as default. It works great as well, especially if it's your listing. But even, again, when you're going to borrow a listing, borrow with a little bit of strategy, right? And one of the things I always say is, make sure you got good photos of the listing you're going to borrow. Make sure it's a good price point. You don't want to go too low or too high. So those are some of the considerations to think about. But then also be thinking, what is that hook for my audience, so that when I engage my audience about this listing, and just if you got a couple of 3 different listings, just pick one of them that you think has the strongest hook for this week, or has a different hook from before. It could be new construction, builder incentives available. And a lot of times builders will have really great incentives available. I would either tease them or list them right in the email, if not even the subject line. If it's maybe it's a listing you're borrowing from another agent in your office. If it's price reduced, maybe it's got an updated kitchen. So maybe there's a benefit to that property. Maybe it's got one of the properties we toured this weekend, it had this, I called it the magical staircase in the back. So it had the little staircase up to a hot tub, which is pretty enough, which is really nice. But then a little bit off to the side and almost hidden, like you would have noticed it until you got to the landing of the hot tub, there's another staircase to this other sitting area, kind of on a little bit of a hill just behind the home. And it was so beautiful. And like, that would be the thing I would lead with, is a private magical staircase and sitting area. Just something to get your database's attention to look at that property. And for the people that are starting to think about buying, it's going to entice them even more to engage with it. So yeah, your e-flyer for your database. Again, we give you the structure, and you can either send it to all of your leads by clicking send now here, selecting the list you want to send it to, all your leads, maybe just your buyer leads. And alternatively, I can click copy code, and then I can go to my CRM, drop it into my CRM, or some people even just copy the whole thing here. They just copy it, go to the CRM, paste it in, and just like everything else, it'll link everybody to your single property website. We've got a link to your home value, so we'll let your database know that when this property is sold, it will affect nearby home values. And then down here, it's got your listing, your listing lead signature right here. So great e-flyer, and then a great call script. Too many times we ignore our database. We don't call through our database. We're calling our new leads, maybe, right? Are all of you calling? Yeah, hopefully you got your lead follow-up dialed in a little bit so that we're making sure we're staying top of our current leads. But we also got those leads in our database that we've not talked to in forever. And so this can be a nice little script just to call through some people and see if we can't reconnect with some of those people. Maybe it's been 6 months, a year, 2 years. And so you can see here, we got an intro, we got the body of it, and then we got 3 different endings, depending on if they own a home in the area of the listing. So owns a home in the farm area of the listing, owns a home not in the area of the listing, or if they're a buyer lead. So as you're calling through your database, you'll see where they live. You'll see where the listing is. You'll know, right? And you'll know which version of this to use. And again, the goal is for every homeowner in our database, we want to leverage the fact that this listing is currently for sale. Let them know how they can access all the photos and details, and let them know that when this listing is sold, it will affect local area home values. And either A, would scott@listingtoleads.com be the best email to send your updated home value to? That's version 1 if they live nearby. If they own a home not around it, there's another version where we just offer them a free CMA, and that we do this for all of our clients and VIPs. I know that you're not looking to sell right now, but I'd love to do this report for you. So that helps me keep tabs on what's happening in your area. And would scott@listingtoleads.com be the best email to send that to? So we got ways, and then for the buyer leads. So we got ways of engaging our database, no matter who they are, using that listing. So I call through 5 or 10 people in your database. Don't overthink it. Don't make it a bigger thing than it really is, but just use it to make a few phone calls or even text messages into your database with something. And again, that doesn't have to be your listing. That could be your listing of the week, the listing that you're going to borrow from another agent, but yet you're leveraging it to re-engage some of those old leads using both the e-flyer, right? The e-flyer for your database and the database call script. Next up is the short form video script. Whether you use this word for word or you paraphrase it or just as inspiration, this is a great script. So get this to your phone. If you're logged in on your phone, just click download and you can upload that script into your teleprompter app. By the time you do it 2 or 3 times, you'll know the script, and it's so easy to do. Anybody here not doing short form videos? You should be doing this at every status at a minimum. Every status. And in fact, if I go to, let me give you, I've got a post. It's for open houses in particular, but it can be easily used. I'm going to drop this link. Give me 1 second here. I think it's this one. Yes. Nope. Here we go. So Instagram stories, open house campaign. This could be used. This can be used for any status. I'm going to drop this in here. Give me 1 second. And it's actually easier when you do it like this. The idea is, just get 5 or 6 clips of the property. You can be in them, have somebody, videotape you talking about that part of the property, just 10, 20 seconds. And that's the clip. So you don't have to overdo it and try to do like a one full on tour of the property in your short form video. You can do just a little bit about the kitchen. And then that's your Instagram, your TikTok, your Facebook story, your YouTube short. Then the next day you do it of the backyard. The next day you do it of the front of the house. The next day, if you've ever taken a writing course, I'm sure a lot of you here have taken a writing course, and especially when you're younger, maybe in high school, and you got to write 500 words or maybe 1,000 words about the head of a pin. and people are able to do that. So I promise you, you can do a quick video on the kitchen, on the the living room. Could be, maybe it's living room and kitchen together. Then maybe you've got, again, the front of the house, the back of the house, another part of the house, but just using that home as constant creation, as constant content. Wow, that was a little hard to say. So anyways, get that short form video script, get that out the door. That's one of the 5 that you should be doing every single week. Next up, single property websites and the virtual tours. Here, the biggest thing is we got different single property website / virtual tour templates. I usually use that one right there. We got some related to the holidays, which it is not, so don't worry about that. Branded and unbranded. So you can take a look there. Virtual tours, same thing, but just the only difference between a virtual tour and a single property website is on the virtual tours, the images pan a little bit at the top. Otherwise, they're the same thing. We have an open house sign-in form. So you want to make sure that you're using that at your open houses. There's the online and the print version, completely customizable. So even on the print version, I can change those questions. So I can, all the questions right here, turn them on and off, rearrange them, add new ones. The really cool thing is when I go to add new, I can add short answer. I just got my braces off. I'm still talking a little funny. So I got short answer, paragraph, checkboxes, radio buttons, or drop down. So a lot of great question formats there for you to use. We'll talk more about that in tonight's call at 5 p.m. Pacific. We got great listing flyers. We talk about this. If you're the listing agent, get these on the yard sign. You should have a rider in particular, right? For like just listed. I know it might be backwards in the camera. I got just listed. You got open house, you got for sale, and then you got pending, and then you got just sold. So I would make sure I get every single one of the statuses that I do. And on my yard sign, and I'm going to show you a picture here in a minute, I want my yard sign to always have the status writer on the top. I want flyers in a plexiglass flyer box or acrylic. And then if you click sign writer right here, and these are all customized, these will be your brand colors. I don't know why I picked this kind of crazy blue, but I can go to customize and I can select maybe a little bit of a darker. That might be too dark, but whatever. You get the idea. You want to have this on your yard sign. You can order it right from here. There's a little link to Dirt Cheap Signs, so I can download the version I want. I like version number 2 the best. I don't want the QR code. All I want people to do is send a text, because that way I get a phone number 100% of the time when people send the text, and they will get the mobile responsive virtual tour sent to them. And so, yeah, get that on your yard sign. We have had clients get listings, get buyers, and they'll put this on the below the arm. In fact, let me show you. If I click learn more right here in the top right, you see that yard sign right there? That's about how I want mine to look in my yard. So take a look at that. Right, beautiful. Get that on your yard sign. They cost like $25, and you could download it and even have a local sign company probably do it. So if you got a sign company that your MLS contracts with, you could ask them or your MLS, how much does it cost to get a sign writer printed? Right, you can let them know you got the printable file, or you can just give them the text code and how much would it cost to do locally. All right, any questions on anything we covered here? There's some more tools, all right? Blog post, Craigslist, QR code, the traffic report. You can set this up also via edit. When you add the seller's information, you'll be able to add this So again, if I go to edit and seller information right here. So right here, you can see, set that up. All right, any questions on anything we covered today? We covered a lot. Again, when you go to the overview, so when you click the green market listing button, you'll see the overview for every status. We got the step-by-step guide right here. Highly recommend it. We've got the checklist, and then you're all already here. So welcome to the live webinar. Can we get a dedicated queue? What's a dedicated queue? Oh yeah, no. Those sign writers stay with the those sign writers stay with your account, so I can move them around to all my different listings. Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, no, see this extension right here. So when this listing sells and it drops out of my account, let's say I delete the listing from my account, that 10001 will stay in my account and it will actually auto assign to the next listing. And that way I've already got the yard sign or the sign writer. And I'm going to take the sign writer and put it on my next listing. Yeah. Dedicated QR code. Yeah, the QR code will stay with it as well. But I like this one. You know why? Because I want the numbers to be as big as possible. So when people are driving by, that they see it and they're not sitting there trying to read, like squint, like what the hell does that say? Too many times, if it doesn't pass the 25-mile-an-hour test, you're just going to get fewer results from it. And so I like to make sure, and that's why I designed this one this way, because people are going to know what the text is for if they can read it. So I want to make sure that this part, that's why I like that, just the number 2. All right. Sweet. Thank you so much. Don't forget your affiliate links. All right. We got the affiliate link right here. All you got to do is drop in a PayPal or email or something. Get with our support team if you need to. On that, get with our support team if you have any questions. Get to the mastermind group. And in fact, the last thing I'll show you here, if you go to the marketing calendar, this is how you find our mastermind group. Go to the marketing calendar, click resources, and you'll see Facebook mastermind group, top row right, Instagram, top row middle, YouTube, top row left, and some other resources down here for you as well. So thank you everybody for joining us. If we're going to see you at 5 o'clock for open house marketing and mastery, I can't wait to see you there. I always recommend doing as many open houses as possible, because if you do it with our training, you're going to turn that more into an event, and you're just going to get more engagement. You're going to get more people to it, and you're going to engage more of them at it. So with that, have a great one. We'll talk to you soon.